Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Rich, and I have been tutoring general chemistry and organic chemistry for over 15 years now. And I wanted to show you some of the advanced tools that GoBoard has to offer you and your students. Now, hopefully you've familiarized yourself with the different buttons here, the video button, the microphone button, etc. I want to show you some of the more advanced features. Now, you got basic tools, of course, so when you right-click with your mouse, I'm using a laptop at the moment, so I use my double finger there. it's a Mac that I'm using, but there's definitely some keyboard shortcuts that will be helpful for you, but I'm essentially right-clicking, and I'm opening up these tools here. All right, now I'm going to use the select tool, and you can go to more tools, and the more tools button just has a lot of different features that you might have not been aware of. We have a graphing calculator, a basic calculator. So if you're a student or you forget your calculator, which happens sometimes, I know, feel free to use these, and that'll be a way to keep the session going. Now, another thing that we put in here is a reference library. The reference library is just a set of documents that you might need. All right, so as you do more and more tutoring, you might be uploading more and more documents that's going to be helpful for you and your student. Now we're going to go to the chemistry section, all right, and you're going to see when you click on reference library there, it takes us directly to the chemistry reference library. Now, our chemistry team and our organic chemistry team have uploaded some pieces here. You can see the periodic table. It gives you a nice preview of what it looks like, and a pKa table if you're doing some acid-base calculations, and of course a BDE table if you are doing some organic chemistry or you're doing some general chemistry to figure out delta H of the reaction. A pKa table, which actually, it's a Ka table. The pKa table is the same thing, all right? But of course, you're not taking the negative log of it. So we're going to start off here by just uploading the BDE table. And if you wanted to talk about it and start a problem or do a problem based on the Lewis structure and determine the delta H, you can use the BDE table to help you do that. Now, you might say, well, I don't have enough room. I want to resize it. You certainly can. You can take the structure or the file and move it and manipulate it as much as you'd like, and move it to the side. We can make it smaller. We can make it larger. I usually like it larger just so we can work with it. Now, you can start to draw your structure, and I usually tell everybody, if you're doing chemistry, you should use the chemistry bond drawing tool. All right, now you can have a lone pair, you can have a pair of electrons, a single bond, a double bond, a triple bond. All right, so if you wanted to draw a trigonal planar, you're more than welcome to do that right here, trigonal planar, and discuss, of course, that structure. You can add in the elements. I'm going to right click here and let's see here, right click, and I'm going to add in my text. So let's say I wanted to make that nitrogen. I said, okay, that's my nitrogen. It's a little bit too small, so I'm going to right click on that and make it bigger, get a lot bigger so that it's more prominent. Move it around a little bit, and I could say that's my nitrogen. And I'm going to put my fluorines around if I were to, let's say, for example, draw NF3. So I'm going to change that size right there, all right? And I can take it and copy it if I'd like. Command C, and pop, and pop. And of course, you can move it around to make it nice, all right? And we can add in, of course, our bond or our lone pair when you're drawing, of course, NF3, okay? Now, that structure doesn't look too good, right? So you'd like to maybe put some perspective in there. If that's something that you'd like to do, you're more than welcome to do that. So let's say we wanted to add some perspective. Oh, I put an extra lone pair in there, so I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Now, if you wanted to add some perspective, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, so I'll put it like that, and something going towards the back. All right. If you wanted to show them an actual trigonal pyramidal, you're more than welcome to do that. So put the lone pair right there. That might have been too small for our structure, so let's make it look nice like that. And I might have to, I'm going to go ahead and select it Just move it a little bit over, right there. Some of you might like to draw a line in there, which is perfectly fine. You might say, hey, I want to draw a line to go from here to here to show that that's the other lone pair. Might have been too thick, so I'm going to Command Z and make it nice and thin. All right, that's going to be our trigonal pyramidal. Now, you can also use this for organic chemistry if you are wanting to draw some alkanes. All right, and we have a little hexane right there. Oh, I'm sorry, heptane. I thought I had 6, but there's 7. And you can, of course, use these curved arrows to show reactions, right? The movement of electrons or backside attack or any kind of extra things that you might want to exaggerate to students. But the reaction mechanism is perfectly a good thing to work with. Now, if you want to continue and do some more problems, you certainly don't want to erase everything you just did, because that wouldn't be helpful if a student needs to go back and check it out. All right. So I always recommend adding another page, and you can go linearly, vertically down, not linearly, but vertically down to add more pages. And your students, of course, can always go back and reference what they just saw. All right, or what you just talked about. And once you're done with the session, they can always go back to the same room and, of course, check out all the drawings that are in there. All right, so you don't have to start again from scratch. Now, as I said, we do have Wolfram Alpha and a graphing calculator tool. So you can use Wolfram Alpha if you wanted to solve a K value, right? So if you're using equilibrium and you had to set up the quadratic and maybe you forgot the calculator, or you didn't want to kind of slow down by plugging in your calculator, you want to just go over the concept, you can use Wolfram Alpha to give you the values of X, and you can go on your merry way. Now, if your student has the calculator, they're more than welcome to also do the calculation, but this is just a fail-safe in case you needed to do a quick calculation, and so that your session doesn't get derailed. All right, so hopefully those tools were helpful to you. All right, if you have any feedback, let us know, and we'd be happy to hear it. All right.